Now you may be asking, why do we prune wisteria twice a year? Why not just once? And the answer is quite interesting. In the summer, we prune directly after flowering to help restrict further growth from that year. If we leave them, what they tend to do is to send out even more shoots to try and colonise whatever they're growing up. But by nipping it back to 6 buds after it's flowered, it helps curtail that. But then in the winter, what we also want to do is to restrict that to 3 buds, to focus that energy even more on those remaining buds. If we leave them with 6, we're going to get all 6 offshoots. If we remove them to 3, we're going to focus that energy, which increases the chance of flowers, which, let's be honest, is why we're growing wisteria, those gorgeous purple flowers. So now that you understand why we prune, it's time to get cracking. And I'm just going to start taking these back to 3 buds. So you'll notice that these all have around 6 buds because I pruned them last summer. So 1, 2, 3, make the cut. So that's coming off. And if you can see, we've got 1, 2, and then 3. So that's it we're taking off. That's from the summer cut. And I'm just going to work my way around 1, 2, 3, making these cuts all the way around the wisteria, even the bits at the top. And by taking them back to 3, it's going to ensure that they've got all that energy for buds for this year's flower. 1, 2, 3. This would be a poor example of a pruning cut. It's too far above the bud. So you want to cut that about here. So let me show you that now. So it needs to be further down, around about here. So there we go, much better. Now obviously I'm pruning an established wisteria. If you've just bought one or you've got a young plant that you put in the ground, you do need to be patient. They will take up to 7 years to flower. However, follow this advice and it will help keep that wisteria in a neat shape. And over the next 2 to 3 years, just make sure that your pruning cuts are helping guide it into a really stable structure. So don't just let it grow for gold and go nuts. Kind of keep it under control and then you'll be able to get a framework ready for whatever structure the wisteria is climbing up. The reason why we don't just cut it straight back to 3 in summer is that we want to keep some of that beautiful foliage and greenery. If we're pruning them late July, early August, the wisteria will still have that foliage and form all the way through until the first frost. So if we nip it back to 3, it's going to look quite brutal and a bit ugly. So we wait until winter when it's dropped all of its leaves, and it also means that we can see what we're doing a lot easier. So there we have it, my super easy way to prune wisterias in winter to make sure you get beautiful blooms in the summer.